So you want to get into anime and manga. Maybe you have a family member or a friend that's really into anime and they've recommended some to you, you just haven't gotten into it yet and you want to, but you have no idea where to start because there are thousands of options. Well, that's what this video is. I'm going to recommend some of my favorite anime and manga series so you don't have to go in blind. Welcome to the video. Let's get started. Okay, so I've divided these into like little categories. So the first one is like for true beginners. You don't want to go into anything dark. You don't want a long series. You just want something easy, something simple. So I have 3 recommendations for you. And the first one is one of the few animes that I have watched multiple times because it is that good. So this one is Erased, and if I know the creator or like the author offhand, I'll tell you. A lot of these I don't have them memorized. But Erased is a 12 episode anime, and it follows a guy or main character. And a lot of these I don't know the main character's names because it's been years. But we follow our main character, and he has like a special kind of, I'm going to use the word clairvoyance. But one day a tragedy happens in his apartment and he has to get away. And because of this tragic event, something happens. He wakes up and he's like 10 years old. He is his 10-year-old self. He's reliving his past because something tragic happened when he was in grade school. A bunch of female students disappeared and one of them was killed. So he realizes, I have a chance to rewrite history. I can try and save my fellow classmates. And there's one girl in particular that he's trying to save, the one who went missing and was eventually found dead. So he is trying to save her and figure out who was the person who did all of these horrible things. So if you want like a murder mystery, traveling back in time, trying to multiple attempts to change your fate, check out Erased. It is so good. It's only 12 episodes. The intro, like the music opening, so good. So check out Erased if that sounds compelling to you. Next is another one that I've rewatched multiple times. It is a favorite. It is called Death Parade. Death Parade is also 12 episodes, so it's easy to get into. So think like Limbo, right? Not hell, not heaven, but limbo. And so limbo is a bar. And so we have this girl who dies and she goes to limbo. She comes to this bar and no idea who she is. And so the bartender, it is his responsibility to determine if she goes to heaven or if she goes to hell. But to do that, they have to play like bar games like darts or pool or like classic arcade video games. But this girl is special. There's something about her. And the bartender cannot pass her on either way. So she has to stay and help. So it does get a little bit dark and there's a tiny bit of gore with the bar games, but it is such a good story. I cried at the end. The music is fantastic. The animation is out of this world. It is just so good. So Death Parade, if you want something that's leaning towards a dark system, but compelling story, everything about it is fantastic. And then our last one in the beginner category is, correct me if I'm wrong, this does not have an anime adaptation. It is currently just a manga, I believe. So I have not finished this series. It's ongoing. I have read 4 volumes, but it is so good. that I just have to put it in this category, and it's perfect for beginners. That is Girl from the Other Side. We follow this young girl. She's can't be more than like 8. And it's in, I want to say like kind of medieval times, but something has gone wrong. So there's like these kind of like demons or dark creatures that have kind of taken over. And our main girl, her name is Shiva. See, it came to me. So Shiva is special because she lives with one of these demons, and she calls him teacher, and they're good friends. They live together. Because she was found out in the woods where you're not supposed to go, because that's where the demons are. And our demon, he is not evil. He doesn't want to eat the humans. We're not sure what his purpose is yet and why he's so different, but he protects Shiva, and Shiva is trying to find her auntie, because that's the one family member she has left, and she's just like, oh, when auntie comes, you know, she'll live with us and blah, blah, blah. Well, what happens when auntie comes and she's not herself? So we're really following just Shiva and Teacher, the demon, as they go about their daily life in this changed world, and having to deal with auntie, having to deal with the other demons who are bad, and also the townsfolk who eventually find them. So it's really just a cute, cozy, but also dark series. So if you're willing to give manga a try and actually read some manga, this is it. And the art style is so cute. Shiva is the most adorable character I've seen. She is so cute. So if you want something like cozy and dark at the same time, please check out Girl from the Other Side. And now it's time for our next category. So I've just titled this one Unique Anime and Manga Recommendations, and I have 2 for this one. So the first one is one that I've gotten into recently, this year, and that is Solo Leveling. So Solo Leveling is really popular, and it's actually not a Japanese manga. It's made by a Korean author, which is cool. And the reason I got into this is because it's kind of based on like video games and video game logic, which is super interesting. So we follow our main character, Jinwoo, who is an E rank hunter. So in this world there exist gates and like portals where they go in to like these dungeons and have to fight all the bosses to protect humanity, right? So it goes from like S rank to E rank being the bottom. Jinwoo is an E rank. He's not very good. He's always getting hurt. What happens when he gets so hurt, dies, but he comes back? And he is no longer an E rank. He's an S rank. So that's the very basic premise. But the art style is crazy good. These fight scenes, these bosses that they have to fight, it is just so action-packed and surprisingly funny at some points too. I've just been eating up every single volume. The anime, I believe, has 1 to 2 seasons out, which I think like just got released. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know how it compares to the manga, but it is so good, so good. So, I mean, I've been obsessed with every volume has been 5 stars from me. So if you're interested in something really action-packed, unique story, video game logic, please check out Solo Leveling. And then the last one for the unique category is Mob Psycho 100, which I'm close to finishing it. It is also by the author of One Punch Man, which I'm not a fan of. I much prefer Mob Psycho 100. Mob Psycho 100 is like flawless in my opinion. The art style might put you off, but you gotta give it a try. You gotta watch 1 to 2 episodes. So we follow our main character, whose name is Mob, and he is an Esper. He's a psychic. And so in this world there exists like ghosts and spirits and stuff. and so he exercises them. But Mob has trouble like communicating with others. He has trouble with his feelings. And so he works as like an apprentice intern to Reagan. Reagan is a con man. And that's just it. He's a con man. But they work together to expel these ghosts and stuff. It is such a fun series, and it gets surprisingly emotional too. So if you want something kind of fun and quirky, check out Mob Psycho 100 because it is such a good time. And the song intros for this anime, no notes. It's like some of the best music I've heard from anime. So that's our second category done. Next is our third category, and it's only one anime manga. And I could talk about this one forever, so we'll see. So if you don't want to just dip your toe into anime and manga. You want to just dive right in. You want to jump in. You're in it for the long haul. And of course by that, I mean One Piece. Now hear me out. If you know anything about One Piece, you might know that it has over 1,100 episodes. Hear me out. Don't run away. It's going to be okay. So, One Piece is, I believe, either the longest or the second longest running anime manga and of all time. So, I was always skeptical of One Piece. I was like, there's no way it's this good and has this large of a fan base. The live action came out, was it last year or year before? I think it was last year. The live action came out on Netflix. That did me in. I watched the live action. I was like, I need more. I need more of this. So I started watching the anime. And when I say what episode I'm on, you're like, you're only on this episode and you've been watching for over a year. Hang on. Slow down. I'm slow at these things, okay? I am on episode 165. Whoa, calm down. Which is the Skypiea arc, which I'm loving, by the way. So what is One Piece about? So a long time ago, the most infamous pirate out there, what was his name? Gold Roger? I don't know. But he was executed. But before he was executed by the Marines, he said, I have hidden the greatest treasure known to man, known to pirate kind, and it's up to you, the new generation of pirates, to go out there and find it. And it is called the One Piece. So we follow Luffy and his ragtag group of pirates to find the One Piece and become king of the pirates. That's it. So it's a super simple premise. They're just going around these different like countries, these different magical lands, traveling across the sea. But there's so much heart and humor and just everything good in this world is in One Piece. I could preach the One Piece gospel all day long. It is, I love it so much. And it's so good. So if you just want the most incredible story you've ever witnessed, and you don't care about the length of the episodes and how many episodes there are, give One Piece a try. If you're going to take away anything else from this video, try One Piece, please. Okay. So that's my One Piece spiel. But okay, done with One Piece. So the next category is anime manga series that are dark. So I have 3 for this category. We're going to start with probably my favorite out of these, which is Attack on Titan. You can see I have my completed Attack on Titan manga. It's my only completed series and finished series. So I'm very proud of it. So Attack on Titan follows Eren Yeager. And Eren and Mikasa and Armin and Levi and Hanji and Connie and Jean and all these characters that I love so much. So they live in a world where Titans exist. And Titans are these gross, giant creatures that just want to eat humans, right? And so Eren joins the survey scouts, and their job is to kill these giant creatures and risk their lives for humanity. And so all of him and his friends, they join, and people die, and plot twist after plot twist happens, and it is just so jaw-droppingly fantastic. Attack on Titan is one of the first mangas and animes that I ever picked up, and I will always recommend it if you can handle some gore, if you can handle some dark themes. It is just, it's so magnificent. Like, that's the only word I can use to describe it. And I know some people are mad about the ending, the way it ended. I'm not. It ended the only way it could have. It had to happen. So, whatever. So that's Attack on Titan, my favorite dark series. Next is one that I'm in the process of reading, which is Jujutsu Kaisen. This is one of the current, I don't know if it still is. A couple years ago, it was one of the like big three, you know? And I'm always skeptical about picking up the big three. I don't think they're worth the hype at all. Jujutsu Kaisen is the exception. We follow Yuji Itadori, and there are curses in this world. There are curses. Think of them kind of like as demon creatures and just gross, cursed beings, right? And there's one called Sukuna. And Sukuna is currently like trapped, but his fingers have been spread out across Japan, right? What happens when Yuji swallows one of his fingers? Yeah, and now Sukuna is a part of him. So Yuji becomes a jujutsu sorcerer. So he works to, kind of like with Mob Psycho 100, he works to expel these curses, right? To get rid of them. With his new friends that he's made, his mentors. But this one has a lot of gore, a lot of gross bits. So just fair warning, the curses are pretty gruesome and just gross to look at. But the art style, the animation, the storytelling is so good. This is the one series I've been spoiled a lot for. Like, I basically know everyone that dies. And that's not for a lack of me going out there and looking up spoilers. It just pops up on my feed. I'm just like, oh great, my favorite character is going to die in like 3 volumes. Love that for me. So, but regardless of that, I still am invested because it's just so good. Because you want to figure out, like, what is going to happen to Yuji? Is he going to survive this? What happens when he keeps going after these fingers? I mean, is he going to get worse? Is he going to let Sukuna take over? What's going to happen? And the side characters are so good, too. So just, if you can handle dark, please check out Jujutsu Kaisen. It is so good. And now it's time for the darkest recommendation I will ever give. I am only on volume 4. I've read 4 volumes of this. I put off reading this for years, because of how dark and gross this is. And of course, I'm talking about Berserk. Berserk, from page 1, I open a page 1, I'm like, oh, okay, this is what I'm in for. The most disgusting drawings and creatures, and oh my gosh, I'm gonna have nightmares. That is Berserk. We follow Guts, and I've only read 4 volumes, so I actually don't know a lot of the story yet. But we follow Guts. He is our main character. It takes place in like medieval times. And we have a fairy named Puck. Is that right? Puck? And Guts is just trying to get by in this world. Everything bad that you can imagine has happened to Guts. Like, he has been through the ringer more than anyone else has in their entire lives. But he's still kicking, and he still has some good left in him. So we're just following Guts as he tries to survive when the entire world wants him to die. And he has like this curse mark on his neck. And I don't know what that's about yet. He had an old friend that's now like an angel or I don't know. But so forgive my lack of an explanation. But I mean, if you really like dark and gory stuff, give Berserk a try. Just please look up the trigger warnings. Every single trigger warning I can think of is probably in Berserk. So please look up the trigger warnings. So that's the end of my dark category, okay? We have 2 categories left, and they each only have 1 recommendation. I'm going to take a sip of water real quick. Okay, sorry. So, our next one is historical. And you might be thinking, oh, that kind of sounds boring. This is the series that got me into anime and manga. Like, at least 10 years ago now. And you can see it at the very top, the black one up there. That is Black Butler. Oh my god. So Black Butler, we follow CL, who is like a young lord to this manor, right? The Phantom Hive Manor. And his parents died tragically a while ago. And I don't remember how it happens. He has a demon butler. For some reason, there's a lot of demons in my recommendations. I'm sorry. But he has a demon butler whose name is Sebastian, who is one of the most beloved and iconic characters in manga and anime. So, Sebastian is like, you will sell me your soul, CL, once our mission is completed. Because now keep in mind, it's been 10 years since I read the start of the series, but he's trying to like figure out what happened to his parents and everything, blah, blah, blah. And so I'm going to give like a bit of a, I don't know the word. I'm thinking caveat, but I don't think that's right. Bit of a warning for this series. There's nothing overly gruesome, overly dark about it. It's not like anything like that. When I was reading the manga, this is mainly a manga series for me, not an anime. The anime is fine, but the manga is just superior in my opinion. I stopped reading this series for about 2 to 3 years because I did not like where the author took the story. Because there was a lot of foreshadowing for this, and I was like, she's not gonna do it. She's not gonna do it. There's no way. She can't be doing this. It happened. She did it. And I was like, I can't. So I stopped reading for 2 to 3 years. And so I got curious, after 3 years had passed, and I was like, okay, let's see. Let's see if this change that I didn't want is worth it. So I think it just took time for it to settle, the idea for me. So, but that happens like 25 volumes into the series. And it's not bad. It's not bad. It's just, it didn't go where I expected. It's like a huge plot twist. Like the most diabolical plot twist ever. And so, but I mean, I love the series so much. And it's the reason I got into this anime binge in the first place. Like back in like 9th grade, which was like 10, 12 years ago. Oh my gosh. But so it's just, if you love like Victorian England stuff, check out Black Butler. And if you don't mind a crazy plot twist towards the end, Black Butler. And if you like hot demons, Sebastian, Black Butler. So that's all I'm going to say. I know that was a bit discombobulated, but I have feelings about Black Butler. So it's time for our last category, which is like classic old anime. And I have one. and it is my favorite anime currently of all time, which is weird for me because it's like takes place in space. So of course I'm talking about Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop takes place in space, which if you know me, you know that I hate space. It terrifies me. I hate space so much. But this is more than just a space-centered story. It's about grief, revenge, anger. It's about friendship and what you would do for the ones you love. It is just so compelling. So we follow Spike, and something happened in his past, and he is out for revenge. But he makes these friends. Oh gosh, what's the other guy's name? It's Spike and... oh gosh. The girl's name is Faye, and there's a dog. There's a cute little corgi. But we really just follow these characters. They've had horrible things happen in their lives, and it's really just following them trying to get peace, whether that's through means of revenge or just accepting what's happened to them. It is so tragic and so sad. I've cried so much over this show. It's actually surprisingly progressive for a show that came out in like the 80s or 90s, probably 90s. It is just, it's so good. So, and the intro, classic. It's one of those animes where it's 24 episodes. You watch it, you finish it, it stays with you for years. I typically do one rewatch of this every year. I rewatched it this year probably, it's been a couple months, but it's just so easy to watch and get through, and it's such a good story. So Cowboy Bebop and One Piece are kind of my gifts to you. Check out those two series above any of these others, but I don't know. So that's the last one. That's the last recommendation I have for you. This has gone on much longer than I thought it would, but just me yapping about my favorite series. So yeah, if you check out any of these, please let me know. Or if you have some series that you think I should have recommended but I didn't, let me know those too. I watch anime very slowly, so there's a lot of series I have on my to be watched, to be read list I just haven't gotten to yet. So those are my recommendations. Yeah, so check these out. Give anime and manga a try. It's just such an avenue for great stories that people are afraid to get into because of the different language, and like, they're not cartoons for kids. I'm not going to make my baby cousin watch Berserk. Like, come on now, use your brain. So anyway, so those are my recommendations for today. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you check out any of these. I'd love to talk to you about it. And I will just see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.